There tends to be two kinds of representations for Native people in the film industry, and that's either the noble savage, they call it, which is can be either a man or a woman, but they always are best friends with the white hero, and they're always accepting assimilation and helping with that process. And you have the ignoble savage, which is usually someone who's really supporting their own community and trying to fight for sovereignty, but they get depicted in the film as violent reactionaries, something for mainstream, which in this case is almost an always white community of people trying to settle a nation. They're seen as someone to be fearful of. For women, same thing. You have the princess figure. She's going to be your noble figure, right? Because she's going to fall in love with the white guy. Pocahontas, right? She's always beautiful. She's always a little bit lighter skinned than her sister. And she always has a vision of, oh, world peace means assimilation. Smoke Signals. Have you seen the film Smoke Signals? No. Okay, well that was a groundbreaking Native production. Chris Eyre and Sherman Alexie, that one together. Chris Eyre filmed it and Sherman Alexie was the writer. But it is very funny, and it's a contemporary road buddy film, so it uses a genre like the road buddy film that everybody knows. But the two heroes in the film are not white guys. They are Native guys, and they're leading their community to go pick up the remains of one of their fathers, and they take this bus, and it's just packed with humor. And that humor allowed the filmmaker and the writer to poke fun not only at Hollywood, but at all of the viewers who had their own assumptions of what it should be. And it got people to sit back and think, oh, maybe I've been wrong. We're battling not only, it's not just one level, it's not just producers, it's also directors, it's writers, it's casting agents. It's all these people who have this preconceived idea of what a Native person should look like, how they should act, and how they should talk. And that changes very slowly over time. But what it does is it keeps people locked in these little areas. So if you are a Native director or you are a Native actor, if you don't tell someone that you're Native, you have more chance of actually getting alternative roles. The moment that you classify yourself as Native, you have doors locked for you.
The purpose of this project was to make a statement of how Native Americans' imagery is used in mainstream media.
Hi, you want to know why he's dressed like this? You want to know why he's dressed like this? When we see a Native American on media, they're dressed like this and not like what we would normally wear. Like, I wouldn't walk down the street dressed like this every day.
Is that because it's anachronistic, maybe from another time, or are you not talking about historical?
No, not really historical. Like in different movies that we've seen or things like that have come out even recently, like, you just see that they're more in this instead of more in like jeans and a t-shirt or like normal clothes, and we're trying to figure out why that is.
I don't know. I like the guy on Saving Grace. He's just jeans and t-shirt. He's a cop guy. That's kind of a good depiction because he's authoritative and smart. He's not like a caricature.
Exactly.
I feel like they're fighting Illini, right?
Like, so,
you know, the way the Illini guy goes and does his little dance out there. Yeah, I think that's kind of, it's kind of offensive to me because that isn't a ceremony for one. We shouldn't even be doing that, you know? We do ceremonies, we don't go and publicize ourselves like that. And I think it's just it's a joke, man. You know, it's making fun of us. It's disrespectful to our native people, you know, our country. You know, they say that we're a conquered people, but we're still here. You know, and that's just the way I feel. You know?
Are you curious why he's wearing this? Okay.
So, in a way, we're saying like, in media, when you see a Native American they're dressed in this attire normally.
Yes. Okay.
And like, we're all Native American.
Okay.
And
my friend's native right here too.
In Native, and why can't I'm saying like in media, you never really see a Native American person dressed in our normal type clothes. Like when you see a Native American person in a movie, they're dressed like this.
Like that.
And we're saying, why is that? You know,
Yeah,
like why is it okay there, but like here and everybody's looking around like, why are we doing it?
Sticks out kind of
Right.
a little bit. Yeah.
And it's like they see it on TV and they have nothing really to say about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like this.
So what are your views like on that?
I think you guys are right. It's true. You know, it does stick out. You usually don't see natives walking down the street like that. So why are they in movies and TV like that? You know, he never walks down the street like that. Not that I've known him for a few months, and he hasn't dressed like that once. So
Right.
that's
Neither
true.
do we. We're like, this is just
Unless he does it when I'm not around. I don't know.
I was saying it all depends on the context that they're doing it in, because as of recently, I say probably as of 2000, there have been some shows out there to actually accentuate the positive side of Native Americans.
Yeah, but like even so, like every Native American actor, they have only played those roles. Like, why can't like a Native American be a police officer or a lawyer?
They have on some shows. It depends on where you look.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not on any of the probably popular shows that are on syndicated television, but some of sci-fi works have been doing that, which I'm proud of.
Yeah, man, you know, as an Indian nation where I come from, Leech Lake, Minnesota, I'm proud of who I am, and I'm proud of all my Indian people, and I'll never let you Indian people down, never in my life. And I'm proud of who we all are, you know. There's nobody in this world, man, better than the Indian. We might be homeless Indians, but you know what? We still have our pride. We're very proud of who we are.
You know, people got eyes on all of us, but you know what? Forget that, because we're a big old circle here together. I'm saying we're together as one, forever. You can never forget that, never leave that bond, never. You know, this is about peace, you know, and showing people, you know, who we are, recognizing what we are, you know. You can't take it away from us, you know. This is our skin. You can't take it away.
There are not a lot of really visible role models. There are a lot of people out there working, but you see them mostly at the grassroots level or communities. If you're looking at general media, you turn on the television, you're not going to see a lot of Native women. Native women are the most invisible population in mainstream media.
Pop stars. Another quiz. I should do my hair like that. I need to get a bag like Vanessa's. What? Are they serious? Copper tone? I don't want to be like her. I want to be like that. When I grow up, I'm going to be just like her.
There are a lot of Native women out there working in film, particularly in documentaries. So you have women like Sandy Osawa, who is a Makah filmmaker, and she works out in Washington State. And she's one of the pioneers in the United States for Native media. In Canada, you have women like Alanis Obamsawant, who is the grandmother of documentary film and the forerunner of Native women in media. You've got people like Tracy Deer of the Mohawk Nation, who's making not documentaries, but she does some documentary, but she also does kind of feature film style things for people like Shelley Nero. Here in town, you have Mona Smith and Elizabeth Day and Missy Whiteman, all women of different generations who are doing film and doing some incredibly diverse work. It's very exciting because, and I would broaden that term away from just Native media, I would say Indigenous media, because globally there is a huge movement of Indigenous peoples around the globe using the camera and using media for their own communities, projects in their own communities, to communicate or to share with other communities, or working in the larger film and media industry, like the Chiapas Media Project, which is a lot of Indigenous women working in that. You've got those kind of groups coming out of Canada and the United States as well. So you've got these communities that are doing work for their community. Maybe they're interviewing elders for oral tradition stories, or for what kinds of things they used to do in the past that the youth are not learning right now. So they're preserving history, right? So those are localized, community-focused projects. Then you've got people in communities who are making films that kind of cross community. So Victor Masayesva, wonderful filmmaker, one of the granddaddies of filmmaking in the United States, is Hopi. His work is very community-centered, though it appeals to people outside his community, right? Then you've got people like Randy Redroad, who's a pretty famous Native filmmaker whose work is in Hollywood video, right? Because the Doughboy kind of crosses a lot of people's aesthetic desires. A lot of people can associate with his film, even though he's talking about a Cherokee-specific story, right? So it's really moving out there. And then you've got more and more people in the United States watching films coming out of New Zealand or Australia or Canada. So that's why I'm saying Indigenous. It's getting really big.